The most important question you need to ask yourself is, what do I want out of traveling? This may sound like a silly question, but really think about this. It's not as obvious as it seems. Close your eyes and imagine being on a trip to a destination that you've been considering. Take a few minutes to do this and try to make the vision in your head as realistic as you can. Imagine doing the activities you want to do and walking around and eating food. Pause for a few minutes here before you continue listening and really try to create this vision of yourself traveling. Let's call this vision your travel vision. In your travel vision, were you sitting on the beach? Were you in a city? Were you hanging out with locals? Were other people speaking the same language as you? Were you on a ship? Were you climbing a mountain? Were you with traveling companions or were you solo? Were you at a resort or a regular hotel? Already, just by creating this visualization, your mind has made some major assumptions about your travel format and comfort level. Taking this a step further, if your travel vision had you on a cruise ship, this is an environment where other people were cooking for you and you were in a single room that didn't change during your trip. Also, you were probably lounging quite a bit while having a pretty easy, relaxing vacation. On the other hand, if your travel vision had you constantly partying and meeting new people while you hiked through picturesque scenery during the day, you were probably staying in hostels, changing rooms and cities often, and your meals were coming from street markets that don't exactly resemble restaurants. No matter what your vision was, your imagined trip is really the visual answer to the question of, what do you want out of traveling? To give you my own travel vision, I saw myself going all over the world while meeting a bunch of people. I was doing outdoor activities, seeing major sights, and soaking up all the museums. In the evenings, I was partying together with locals and other travelers, and I was going back to a decent hotel room. I saw myself traveling between destinations by cruise ship whenever I could, and working on cargo ships to travel between destinations whenever I couldn't. I pictured myself traveling for 2 to 3 years. I saw myself in a tour group whenever possible so that I'd have sort of a traveling group of friends. I even had a haphazard map of the world in my head of the major sites that I had heard of that I wanted to see. Your vision is likely going to have been much different than mine, and that's totally fine. We all want different things. Now let us back out of this travel vision a little, and let's try to more fundamentally break down the specifics of what you saw. What is your vision doing for you? Are you fulfilling a desire to get away from stress for a while, meet other people, party with other people, learn about other cultures, learn a new language, see nature in ways that you haven't before, explore, try new food, get closer to a partner, belong to some sort of group, see art from all over the world, see history? Don't worry, you can say yes to as many of these questions as you like. You can also have reasons to travel well beyond these questions. The reason behind your travel vision is going to have a huge influence on the next set of questions I'm about to ask. So really think about this. This would be another good opportunity to pause for a few minutes before you continue. Try to think about why you visualized that trip and what was appealing to you about that vision. Hopefully you have some solid thoughts about your vision. The more precisely you're able to answer this new question of, what does my travel vision tell me about what I want out of travel, the easier it's going to be as we continue. Also, you will likely open up other travel options you hadn't considered before. Let's call your answers to this new question your travel goals. The last thing you want to have happen is that you really wanted to climb Mount Everest, but ended up on a cruise with your buddies or mates instead. Or maybe you really want to hike across New Zealand, but ended up in art museums across Europe. Either way, you probably wouldn't be entirely happy, especially if you could afford only one trip in the foreseeable future.